Atypical treatments are those treatments that are just outside of the normal funding that's available for each patient through their insurances, whether it's Medicare or VA funding or some insurance. And so these are treatments that might be like a blood transfusion or the Trilogy vent, things that are not typical for a normal hospice patient, but things that greatly improve a person's quality of life. I visit this lovely gentleman named John Hammers, and it's been a joy for me to get to know him, hear his life stories, and what a capable, really amazing person he is.
The attacker was an unidentified American plane hitting at night.
Well, most of the guys in my high school class wound up in the military and actually flew anti-submarine patrols out of that too in the Aleutians, because it was right at the height of the conflict at that time.
John has end-stage kidney disease, and so his kidneys are continuing to fail, but what he's noticing as a symptom is the fatigue he feels of having a low blood count. And just like all our patients' goals are our goals, and his goal is really to maintain his independence as much as possible. Autonomy is his value.
Because I just don't have any strength or energy without those red blood cells. And they tell me that's what I'm getting out of the transfusion is the red blood cells, because I'm not making any of my own.
With his disease, he normally has very low energy, except when he has the blood transfusion. So that week after the transfusion, he's more energetic. And I visited him on a Wednesday, and he said, "I want to tell you what happened this weekend." And I said, "Tell me." And he said, "Well, my son was up visiting."
And took me out so I could fly a Cessna, because I had it on my bucket list. I wanted to sit at the controls one more time. I did that. Flew out toward Camino Island and down the freeway and circled around. Spent about an hour in the air. Lots of fun. I loved every minute. I didn't want to come back. Well, I'm eternally grateful to the donors for having provided the help that hospice itself, by itself, is not able to provide. And in my case, it's been absolutely essential, because without it, then I'd be in big trouble. And I'm eternally grateful for that.
We met in Bellingham, and he worked for the Forest Service out at Glacier. And then we bought a little house in Deming and fixed it up and had our family, and then we moved to Skagit County after about 7 years to this house, and we've lived here 28 years.
ALS is a devastating disease that knocks out the nerves to our muscles, and it doesn't just knock out the nerves to our muscles in our arms and legs, but actually the muscles that we need to breathe. And so as his disease progresses, he has more and more trouble getting a breath. And like lots of hospice patients, we watched his goals change as his disease progressed, and he needed his breath at the beginning of his hospice stay to get out and connect with nature. That was his most important goal. He needed to get out and see the trees and hear the birds and feel a part of that.
Having this ability to move this machine and have it so versatile is, without a question, makes life so much better for both of us. It means for a man who spent about 35 years in the woods, it's quite a lift for him to be able to pick up and go and down that ramp and out in the yard and out on the road and into the car with the trilogy hooked up, and off we'd go to look at birds. We looked at eagles and snow geese, which come in by the thousands this time of year. Without the donors, we would not have the freedom to go and look at birds, or for Ed to get on his electric wheelchair with this attached, because he could not do it without it.
Okay. Thank you very much.